Jedi Council member Obi Wan Kenobi was never one who enjoyed flying, even less so when Anakin was the pilot. Pointing out a landing strip ahead of him, he put his faith in the hands of Anakin, as well as Coruscant's emergency fire speeders, who were valiantly dousing the fire with jet streams of water. Crashing into the ground below, the burning wreck continues to skid, wiping out a control tower near Obi-Wan. Arriving to a sudden stop, the two Jedi along with R2-D2 and the rescued Chancellor Palpatine are picked up, and land at the Senate building. Palpatine, Anakin and R2-D2 stepped out to the Senate office building, but to Anakin's confusion, Obi-Wan stayed put. Obi-Wan remarked that he was not brave enough for politics, and that he needed to report to the council. This provided Anakin with the chance to take the credit for the mission, meet the senators, and reunite with Padme. But what if Obi-Wan had chosen to greet the senators? What if Obi-Wan had been brave enough for politics? How would this affect Anakin? Would this change the tide of the war? All of that is about to be uncovered. Watching as Palpatine and R2-D2 left to the Senate building, Jedi Council member Obi-Wan Kenobi leaned on the side of the Jedi shuttle bus, just as his Padawan followed them. Anakin turned around, surprised that his master would not join him, as he had helped to defeat Dooku and rescue the Chancellor. Whilst Obi-Wan did need to report to the Council, the report could wait for the sake of politics. Regardless, someone needed to keep Anakin in check. Walking alongside Anakin and the senators, Master Windu is at the front of the crowd and guides them to the Senate office building. Making his way to the front and Palpatine, Obi-Wan notices that Anakin was missing. Waiting for the crowd to disperse, he retraces his steps, walking between several pillars. He is not surprised to see Anakin talking to Senator Amidala, confirming Rex's suspicious activity before the Battle of Anaxis. Mustering up several exaggerated coughs, Anakin and Padme are horrified to see Obi-Wan, expecting the Jedi Master to be furious. Obi-Wan was mildly amused. Anakin had never been the most subtle of Jedi. Congratulating them on their forthcoming child, Obi-Wan calmly walks to the Senate office building, before heading to the Jedi Temple and delivering his debrief of their mission, also recommending Anakin for the rank of a Jedi Master. They would have to meet again the following day to discuss this matter with Skywalker present. Later that same day, Anakin awoke to a nightmare of Padme dying in childbirth, and she tells him to go to Obi-Wan. Anakin crucially agrees, and goes to his master's quarters. Obi-Wan paced the room in thought. The timing of these nightmares was not a coincidence. Obi-Wan decides to reassure Anakin, and that together they would not allow these nightmares to become true, in case they were not mere illusions. This calms Anakin down for now, and Obi-Wan heads for the council meeting. Obi-Wan eventually exits, wondering how he was going to deliver the message to Anakin. Obi-Wan chooses to channel his old master Qui-Gon, telling Anakin to be wary of his surroundings, not wishing to upset Anakin by using the name of Palpatine. Anakin is confused, but absorbs the words of wisdom before heading to the Chancellor's office. There Anakin adopts Obi-Wan's words, and upon being anointed as the Chancellor's representative on the Jedi Council, is conflicted. As the Jedi reiterated very often in recent times, the Senate was far too involved with Jedi affairs. This was a calculated move. But on the other hand, this offer would achieve a lifelong ambition and help him gain access to the knowledge to save Padme. Choosing to accept the offer, he goes back to the council chamber with a feeling of trepidation, knowing that the council would be critical of the move. Anakin was correct, however to his surprise, Obi-Wan interrupts Master Windu. Obi-Wan had known Anakin would be outraged by this move, and had prepared for this moment, guiding his Padawan outside. Obi-Wan informs him of one final mission before he could become a master, which was to spy on the Chancellor. Anakin reluctantly agreed, his drive for becoming a master overriding his loyalty to the Chancellor. Nonetheless, before hunting for Grievous on Utapau, Obi-Wan decides that Anakin should contact Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka shares the same skepticism towards the Jedi Council, in particular to Master Windu. Discussing the death of Dooku, Anakin is almost ashamed by his actions, telling both of them that the Chancellor persuaded him to kill the former Jedi. This previously untold piece of information startles Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. Why would the Chancellor have persuaded Anakin to kill Dooku? Dooku could have provided them with the information to find out about this mysterious Sidious. Thinking back to his conversation on Geonosis with Dooku, Obi-Wan realised that Dooku had not been lying to him. If this Sidious were in control of the Senate, what role did Palpatine play? It suddenly dawns on all three of them that Palpatine was Darth Sidious. Before they could process this revelation, Ahsoka is interrupted by Rex of news of an attack. Ahsoka thinks quickly, and tells Obi-Wan that he must not leave Coruscant, before ending the transmission. Obi-Wan agreed. Grievous was a distraction that could be dealt with later. Anakin and Obi-Wan head their separate ways, with Anakin heading to the Galaxy's Opera House to meet with Palpatine, and Obi-Wan to the Jedi Council chamber again. Unfortunately for Obi-Wan, Yoda has already left for Kashyyyk, leaving Obi-Wan to tell Master Windu of their revelation. Windu and Yoda have been sharing the same suspicions over their Chancellor having too much power, and Windu wants to go for an immediate arrest. Obi Wan is not so sure. Having seen Palpatine orchestrate the whole war, who knew the extent of his power? Yoda agrees with Obi Wan and orders to leave Grievous alone, which will delay the end of the war. Anakin soon returns from his meeting with Palpatine, the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise and the knowledge of Grievous's whereabouts further confirming the suspicions of Palpatine. Back in Palpatine's office, the Sith Lord had sensed in recent days a shift in the Force. His future appeared to be clear, but at present, it was a cloud of uncertainty. Talking to General Grievous, he told the General that the Jedi had received his information, and to prepare for an attack by diverting the Separatist Council to Mustafar. Switching off the hologram, he quietly waited for Anakin to return. But Anakin had no intention of going to Palpatine's office, as he was seated in Padme's apartment with Obi Wan. Since the discovery of Palpatine as Sidious, Padme had been working hard to find any further incriminating evidence against him. Investigating the Republic's finances, Padme found additional funds pouring in for the expenditure of the clone army, and from sources with separatist ties. Anakin and Obi Wan beginning to grow wary. The clone army may not be as innocent as it seemed. Anakin sprinted to the communication center in the temple, with Obi Wan following suit. Bringing up the hologram of Ahsoka again, he ordered her to bring Captain Rex. Recounting what the ARC Trooper 5s had told him with his dying breaths, the clones could even be programmed to kill the Jedi. With Kamino far away from any of the currently stationed Jedi, they need to remove the Chancellor from his office. The Jedi could not risk their plan faltering, and remove him through the use of Force yet. Reconvening with Padme, she quickly gathers all of the senators against Palpatine, and asks them all to go to the Senate building. Anakin joins Palpatine just as he exits his office, who is confused by the meeting. All of the senators take their place in their pods, and Padme's podium rises to the top. Padme does not hesitate in bringing a vote of no confidence to Palpatine, pointing in his direction. Palpatine remained unmoved, doing well to hide his anger with Anakin next to him. He had not expected such a move from Senator Amidala, but her attempt would be futile. Making a scathing argument against Palpatine, the voting ensued, and Palpatine had been removed from office. Continuing to exude his calm demeanour, he slowly exited back to his suite. Checking the progress of Grievous, he decided it was time to execute Order 66, still possible if a new Chancellor had not been elected. The flashing hologram of Commander Cody appeared, and Sidious spoke to execute Order 66. Commander Cody was motionless in his response, before saying that the contingency order could only be uttered by Chancellor Amidala. Sidious's rage was exuded in waves, as he force-choked the poor clone, and shook the entire building. His plans were failing. The stampede of footsteps did not help the matter either, and he jumped out of the window into the street below. With the help of 2 royal guards, Sidious was able to keep the Jedi distracted to head into a small hangar towards his ship. The normally dark crevice is already illuminated with Jedi blades, quickly surrounding the Sith Lord. Sidious was not foolish enough to engage them all in combat at once, and released a powerful force wave, giving him enough time to jump into his ship and fly away, requesting to Grievous to bring the Separatist Council back to Utapau. The Jedi are quick to respond, pursuing the Sith Lord with Anakin at the head of the large squadron. Soon the Jedi, reinforced by more Republic forces, from Venator-class Star Destroyers to Consular-class cruisers, the Sith Lord was being hunted. Unsurprisingly, Sidious headed straight for Utapau, in one last act of defiance. Rather than attacking the Jedi and his former Grand Army of the Republic, he headed straight for the Separatist Council, decapitating them all before they could escape. Next rushing to Grievous, the formidable cyborg and the Sith Lord locked into a fast-paced duel, the true motive still unknown to the Jedi. Finally managing to topple the last remnant of Dooku's creation, the Jedi followed the lead of Mace Windu and all charged towards him. Sidious operated at a superhuman speed, as it was soon evident that he had been taking it easy on Grievous. Using the many layers of the city complex, soon Jedi Masters were being pushed into cliff faces and falling to their deaths. Whatever his fate was, Sidious would ensure he would remain the sole pillar of the dark side. But Sidious was unable to resist the combined power of the 3 of the most esteemed duelists in Windu, Obi Wan and Anakin, and collapsed to his knees. Making the journey back to Coruscant, Ahsoka conveniently had arrived just before them with the captured Maul. Placing both of them in the darkest area of imprisonment, Ahsoka, Anakin and Obi Wan have no time to enter the temple, as Padme needed their attention. Anakin was starting to grow wary, but he found he was at ease following the death of Sidious. The presence of pure evil must have had an effect on all of the Jedi. Carrying her swiftly to the medical center, the new Chancellor gave birth to Luke and Leia, witnessed by the 3 Force users, and the new Vice Chancellor Bail Organa. Leaving Anakin and Padme to tend to their new twins, Obi-Wan paused prior to going to the temple, standing in the doorway observing the scene in front of him. With an overwhelming sadness, he thought about what could have been with Duchess Satine. Feeding all of his negative emotions into the Force, he finally understood that to be in politics was brave after all. That is it for What If Obi-Wan Was Brave Enough for Politics. If you enjoyed this, please like this video, and if you're new to this channel and my other channel, subscribe for more tips. And as always, leave a comment on what you'd like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.